Hello, my name is Jimmy and this is the last of the Mazda 6. Yes, unfortunately, this is the last year of the Mazda 6. Mazda Canada as well as Mazda US says that the Mazda 6 is, well, going to be discontinued. This is the last model, the 2021. The specific one that we're in right now is a Kuro edition. It's a little bit of a special edition here for Canada. It's a little bit similar to the Carbon edition that you can get in the US. But small history about the Mazda 6. This is the third generation of the Mazda 6. First debuted back in 2014. It definitely had some revisions, but I mean, it's definitely a great vehicle. Before this, there was the other Mazda 6, of course. You had the 626, a 616, as well as a 618, and you can get a rotary engine within those. The family sedan market is dying. It's a sad truth. There's not a lot of people that's looking for a family sedan these days. Most people are looking towards SUVs. Thus why the CX-5 is so popular. Same thing with their CX-30. Not as much with the CX-9, but I'll talk about that in another video. Mazda is a boutique manufacturer. They don't have a lot of money because they don't sell a lot of cars. And it's kind of weird that they don't, because they make really good cars, but they just don't. And because of that, they can't put dedicated amounts of R&D into another family sedan when clearly the market doesn't want it. They'd rather put that money towards a better CX-5 or CX-9 or whatever else that they have for the SUV market. So this is the last one. I actually really like the Mazda 6 as a platform because 2 generations ago, the Mazda 6, you can get it in the sedan form, which is a normal sedan. You can get it in a Sportback, which had a hatch. You can also get it as a sport wagon. And that was the last time we saw a wagon with the Mazda 6 platform here in North America. You still can get a wagon in other countries in this platform, and I absolutely love them. They just look fantastic. But, I mean, in North America, not only we don't like wagons, we also don't like sedans. So this is the last one. And what a way to send it off, right? This is a really good looking sedan. Let's take a look at the front of this Mazda 6. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the front end design, the intricate details within the grille, the headlamps. There's quite a bit going on in here, but it's not so much that it's overbearing. It's just minute little details that just make it stand out. Off to the side, 19-inch gloss black wheels, as this is the Kuro edition. Around back, we got some beautiful LED tail lamps and this chrome strip that stretches across the two. Overall, the Mazda 6 is a beautiful vehicle. Not that long ago, I was in the signature model with the Soul Red. The Soul Red is absolutely beautiful. It's not that I don't like the polymetal gray, but I think the red, it really stands out. But let's take a look at the inside, starting with the trunk. There's 14.7 cubic feet in here, which isn't bad. It's definitely decent for a family sedan. And there's 2 latches in the back here, so you can easily fold down the rear seats to expand that cargo volume. In terms of the rear seats, it's plenty comfortable. You got enough headroom. There's enough legroom. On this, you also have heated seats as well as USB ports, but they're a little bit hidden within the center armrest. But the front seats, this is where you want to be, as, I mean, this is the classiest place within the cabin. Seats are nice and comfortable. These are not the Napa leather that you can find on the signature trim, but they're still really soft and comfortable. They're heated, they're cooled. No, there's no massaging features or anything like that, but it's enough for this family sedan. In front, your typical Mazda steering wheel, nothing to complain about here. And behind that, your typical Mazda gauges. I love the Mazda gauges because while the center one is digital, it doesn't look digital. It perfectly color matches the white that's off to the side, and it just looks good. Above, we do have a heads-up display that shows you your speed, a little bit of the lane departure and blind spot monitoring information, but not much else. And then you have the infotainment. This was recently updated to feature wireless CarPlay as well as wireless Android Auto, but that's really it. It's still the older infotainment from Mazda, but it works well enough. You can use the touchscreen while stationary, but once you're on the move, you do have to resort to the rotary control in the center. There's nothing wrong with it, but it can be a little clumsy to use. Overall, the cabin, well, it's filled with a lot of great materials. Everything is nice and soft. You get great leather stitching all across the cabin. It's actually really pretty and feels really high-end. However, as all Mazdas are, as good as the cabin looks and as good as it feels, the driving factor is huge. So let's go for a drive and just see how it feels on the road. Because that's important as well. A family sedan, yes, most people don't care about how it drives because, let's be honest, it's just a sedan to some. But Mazda has injected a lot of that sportier flair within it. And you can certainly feel that when you're within the vehicle. The steering, it's just tighter than others. The engine, there's two options. You can get a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter that makes 187 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque, or you can get this, the 2.5 liter turbo, which is basically used in most of Mazda's vehicle these days. 227 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque when you're using standard 87, or if you use premium fuel, which most people really wouldn't, you get 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. Honestly speaking, you won't feel that additional bit of power until you're above 4,000 RPM. So the chances is you probably won't feel that extra power of using the higher octane. So if you're going to be getting one, just use 87, you're better off. Ride, well, it's supple yet a little sporty. It's a very compliant riding vehicle. It feels more upscale than it should. I mean, I've been in Camrys and Accords, it feels fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But this feels more sophisticated. The suspension, how the chassis deals with these jolts and bumps and imperfections on the road, it handles them a lot better than the Camry did. The Accord was pretty good, but I think this rides better than the rest. Something I love about the 6 is just how unsuspecting it is because, well, right now I'm traveling on the highway. If I need to overtake someone, I just floor it, and it really pushes you back in your seat. It feels great. The powertrain is amazing. This 2.5 liter turbo, but it has control as well because it has G vectoring, which means it uses a little bit of torque to just help you go around corners, and it feels amazing. What it does essentially is before the corner or just when you turn in, it reduces the amount of torque that you have on the front wheels just a little bit, enough so that you actually have a little bit more weight on the front end. And when you put a little bit more on the front end, you get better turn-in response. It's super subtle, but I mean, overall, I don't know if I feel it versus if it was on versus off because you can't turn it off. But you certainly feel that it is, well, a sporty sedan. Something that this market really isn't designed for. I mean, yeah, there are higher performance sedans like the Sonata N-Line that I recently drove, but as a package, that has a few more compromises. Like, just the suspension was a little bit more rough than you may want a family sedan to be. This feels just better overall. All right, let me pull over here and summarize everything up. The 2021 Mazda 6, the final hurrah for the Mazda 6 entire lineup. There may be a new Mazda 6 that's going to be coming in the future. We don't know about that. Supposedly there's going to be a rear-wheel drive platform, inline 6. There's a whole bunch of stuff in terms of rumors, but we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Maybe they'll just revitalize that Mazda 6 name later on. Maybe they won't. But this Mazda 6, if you're in the market for a family sedan, which I know a lot of people may not be, certainly do take a look at this. I would put this above a lot of other manufacturers in terms of just how it feels overall. Sure, it doesn't have as many toys, and the 360 camera is absolutely atrocious. It's horrible. You can't see anything. Well, you can see enough, but it's not clear. It's just not. But if you're okay with living with slightly older tech or not as much tech as some others and not the best 360 camera, if you're a person that likes how a vehicle handles, drives, and just feels, this should be on top of your list. Because even with the regular 2.5 liter, 187 horsepower Skyactiv G4 cylinder, even that motor, it feels good. The chassis tuning, the suspension, it's a good sedan. And it's just a shame that we just don't see that many on the road. As tested here, it's just over $40,000 Canadian. Is it pricey? Maybe a little bit. But I don't think it's as pricey as, you know, getting into an actual premium product. And a lot of the stuff that you feel in here, I would say this is better than like a base model like Mercedes or a base model BMW, because this is really, really nice. Heated and cooled seats, you don't get that. In any case, thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you do, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.